Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. I am simply Uche. Today's topic is a deeply personal one that affects many couples worldwide. It is the fear of infertility. Infertility can be an overwhelmingly and emotionally challenging experience, but understanding the fear and finding ways to overcome it is a vital part of the journey towards parenthood, I believe. In this video, we'll explore what causes the fear of infertility and how one can navigate this challenging path with hope and resilience. It's completely natural to have fears about infertility, especially if you're trying to start a family. I'm going to read a message that I got in my mail some weeks ago. I thought I wouldn't, but I will do it anonymously. Alright? And this person said, after staring at another negative test this morning, I mostly felt numb. Why did I do this test? I have been good about avoiding it for the past few circles, knowing it only ever brought me more heartache. And now here I am, 11 days post-menstrual circle, stark white negative line again. And again, I should know better by now than to allow myself to hope. I skipped work today. In my car, I was halfway there before I broke down. I work with children, other people's children. All I can seem to think about anymore is how they are not mine. I hate the resentful person I have become, isolated, stranded, here alone on Infertility Island. Who could I talk to? Everyone I know barely had to try. Or worse, they were not even trying. Why did I get the short end of the stick? The needles, the ultrasounds, the medications, all for yet another negative test. I mourn the babies that could have been, the due dates that should have been mine, the names I may never give. I am fluent in the language of infertility, a language I never wanted to speak. My husband's optimism seems to diminish my own suffering. I tell him how I feel, but how could he ever understand? He tries, I know he does. It only ever makes me feel guilty. This should be fun, exciting, enjoyable. That is marriage. But now, even sex feels most clinical. I yearn to make him a dad, a father. I have begun to doubt that will ever happen naturally. I feel broken. I am broken. Infertility is a lot. The journey of trying to conceive is really a lot. Now, some of the reasons why people could, feel this way that this particular person feels is because of social expectations. Society often places significant pressure on individuals to have children. Another reason, like we said in one of our previous videos, is the biological clock. As women age, the fertility window narrows. And then this can cause women to become anxious. Yes, men too, but I'm focusing on women here. This can create anxiety, when you think that you're getting older and these children have not yet come. And then there's that emotional and psychological impact it has. Last week's video, we talked about the relationship between infertility and mental health. There is a big relationship. The desire to have children is deeply emotional, and infertility can lead one to have feelings of inadequacy, guilt, and sadness. And then another thing that could cause this fear Could be the financial part of it. I saw a comment 2 or 3 videos ago, a comment, and I think it was from a man, and he talked about how he would love to see a gynecologist, but because of the financial implications, he's not able to do that. This can actually cause one to be afraid. Fertility treatments are really costly, and the fear of not being able to afford them can cause significant stress. Whew. Then there could also be the feeling of lack of control. This can cause you to be afraid when you feel that you have little control over your own body, over your own life. There's this sense of helplessness that could come on. And I'm not a psychologist, yeah, but this fear could be borderline obsessive compulsive. It could become a disorder. I'm not kidding you. If one is not careful, it is easy to slip into obsessive compulsive disorder. How do you know? How can you tell when these things begin? When you start to have questions like, what if something is wrong with my reproductive system and I am physically unable to conceive? You could be asking yourself questions like, could it be that food that I used to eat that has caused me to be infertile? Or could it be that drink? Some of us on this journey, we have had to, take a lot of stuff, sometimes out of desperation. And, one could begin to wonder if those things have made an impact negatively on our ability to conceive. You could also wonder if it is something in your environment that is probably toxic enough and not allowing you to conceive. Then in our clients here, talking about Nigeria, one would be afraid that one spouse would leave. Oh, my husband could just abandon me because I'm not able to have children. Oh, my wife could, walk away from this marriage because I'm not able to give her children. This fear is real. The fear is real. Some more ways that you could know that maybe you're beginning to tend towards obsessive compulsive disorder. I'll call it OCD from here on. Is when you have a compulsion to research, you're always researching on the internet, reading up, trying to find out causes of infertility, or you're always looking for ways to boost your fertility. So you keep searching, you keep researching. I used to do that, okay, and so had to consciously start telling myself to slow down, to stop, to move away from doing those things because they're not healthy. It's not healthy. Obsessive compulsive disorder is real for those who are dealing with infertility. And in my own case, having done all the tests here and there and being told that everything is okay, you'd begin to wonder why you are still, not able to conceive, and you begin to have some of these obsessions and some of these compulsions. And sometimes you begin to also seek reassurance from friends, family, pastors, loved ones. You're, looking for who will tell you that everything is going to be all right. It's a compulsion to hear those words all the time. And then also when you're also excessively engaged in taking different medications, or you hear that there's this drink, if you take it you would conceive, and so you chase it down and you take it without really caring or bothering to find out what the contents of this so-called medications, especially herbs, are. It's a lot. Also, if you find yourself spending excessive amounts of money on supplements to boost fertility, that could also be a sign that you're beginning to have some sort of compulsion, some sort of compulsive disorder. Now, how can you tell if you have this OCD? I'm talking about OCD today because I want us to know that these things, they're borderline. They slip in. You could easily slip in there. Sorry, and if you're not careful, that's the only thing that occupies your thought process. Like the mail that I read to you all, this lady keeps apparently she keeps taking different things, and then she keeps testing almost after each menstrual cycle. She'll give herself a few days, and then she'll go for a pregnancy test. She does these things back to back. It's unhealthy. It causes you to have this anxiety that you cannot really deal with. So some questions that you need to ask yourself: are you experiencing intrusive or repeated unwanted thoughts? Are you having some sort of negative images repeatedly? Then how persistent are these thoughts and these fears around, the topic of infertility? And then do these thoughts usually cause you depression? Do they make you feel distressed? Do you engage in behaviors in an attempt to, reduce this distress or these fears? Do these thoughts and do these, negative thoughts, do they take up a significant amount of time for you? Do these fears and behaviors interfere with other important aspects of your life? If the answer to some of these questions or all of them are yes, then you may be suffering from OCD. I don't know. I can't confirm. I can encourage you to see a psychologist, a psychiatrist to, talk to you. Don't stay, don't stay by yourself. Don't keep to yourself in dealing with this journey of trying to conceive. It's a whole lot, and mental health issues are real. I repeat that mental health issues are real. They sneak up on you when you're not paying attention. The reason for these videos that I've been putting up recently is because I want to help women to understand that these things are subtle. They happen, they creep up on you. Sometimes you find yourself acting out and you just don't know why. It is because you have slipped into some sort of mental health issues and you need help. You need to seek help. One of the ways to seek help is what we are doing right here on Simply Uche. Education. Knowledge is power. Educate yourself about the causes of and the treatments of infertility. Do not go overboard with this education. Do not go, don't do it too often. Seek and consult a proper expert or a certified gynecologist to help you in this for proper guidance. You need to also understand the options that are available to you so that some of those fears can be alleviated. And then you need support system. I was trying to say that before. Don't keep to yourself. Don't stay in an island of your own. This lady who wrote this mail to me said that she is fluent in the language of infertility, and she said something about being all alone on Infertility Island. Please don't be alone. Don't stay alone. Don't stay in there. Find help. Look for support systems, groups like this, community like what we are doing here on YouTube. You need to be able to find a support system. It could also be, that you share your fears with your partner, with your family, your friends, or your loved ones. At this point, I also want to talk about self-care. Prioritize that. Take care of yourself. Sometimes distance yourself mentally and physically from, things that could cause you too much pressure. Stress is a normal part of our everyday life, okay? But those ones that are going to really, really pressure you, those that tend to, make you have to always think of your status. Yes, take care to avoid some of these things. Take time to take proper care of yourself. You can do this by praying. As a Christian, I will tell you that sometimes when it gets overwhelming, I just find a quiet place and I talk to God. I talk to Him. I let Him know how I feel. I let it all out. I pour it out so that I don't have to, keep these things bottled inside and keep feeling, this choked, kind of feeling. I don't need to feel choked. And so I take it to God. I talk to God. I release all of these doubts. I express all of these things that I feel to God. And I do, feel better after, doing that. And sometimes it might just be me reading a word from the scriptures. It does help. Seek professional help. Consult with a fertility specialist. I don't mean, go all the way for the IVF thing. See a gynecologist. Talk to a gynecologist. There are some tests that could be done for you. You don't have to go all the way talking about IVF. I'm going to conclude this video today by saying the fear of infertility is a challenging and emotionally taxing experience, but it's essential to remember that you are not alone on this journey. I keep saying this, you are not alone on this journey. Many people are faced with and they have overcome this type of fears that you are also experiencing with the right support group, with information, and then with strategies. You can confront any of those fears that you may have towards infertility and move forward with hope, resilience, and a clear path towards building the family that you so desire. Next week I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'll be bringing you some words that you can meditate on. I've chosen to call them affirmations. So you really don't want to miss out on next week's episode. Stay tuned as I bring you those words of affirmation, and I'm sure that it will help you steer clear of this path of hopelessness, and help you also deal with this anxiety that you may be feeling. I just want to say thank you for joining me on today's video, and until next time, I wish you all lots of love, laughter, and endless possibilities. Goodbye, and God bless you all.